Hello everybody and welcome to another video. Now today we're going to be looking at a band I have never heard of before. A band called Khemmis. Now, never heard of them before, so obviously, as is my usual, did a little bit of research, and they sound like quite an intriguing band. There's a lot more information than I'm about to impart here, but you know, I like to keep it short and simple. It says here, Khemmis is an American doom metal band from Denver, Colorado, formed in 2012. So they've only been around for about 9-10 years. The band's music combines doom and traditional heavy metal with elements of death and black metal. Intriguing. The band released their first two studio albums, Absolution and Hunted, through independent label 20 Bucks Spin. Their third album, Desolation, and their subsequent mini LP, Doomed Heavy Metal, were licensed for all territories outside of North America by Nuclear Blast, and were co-released with 20 Bucks Spin. In November 2021, the band released their first Nuclear Blast worldwide debut record, Deceiver. The band themselves are named after an ancient city located in Egypt, now known as Akhbim. There we go. Now, there's a few things in there that I find very interesting. First of all, doom metal. Everybody who watches this channel should by now know doom is possibly my favourite genre of metal. Excuse me. And they mix their music with elements of death and black metal. This is also interesting. I mean, everybody knows I used to be part of a death metal band, and I do enjoy black metal as long as it's done well. And the other bit that intrigues me is the name of the band, named after an ancient city located in Egypt. Now, nobody knows this, or nobody who watches the channel knows this, but I am absolutely fascinated by ancient Egypt. Absolutely fascinated by it. I was like addicted to it at one point. You know, I taught myself to read hieroglyphs. That was many, many years ago, and I've actually forgotten by now how to read them, but I did actually learn how to read and write them. I had buckets loads of documentaries about ancient Egypt, so you know, that part intrigues me as well. Now, we're going to be looking at a track called House of Cadmus. No idea what that is, what that's about. I don't know, maybe I should have looked up Cadmus before I actually started recording this video. That would have been prudent, I think. It would have been a smart idea, but I'm not exactly known for preparing very well. So, yeah, I've got lyrics here. They do come from Genius Lyrics, which on occasion are known to be inaccurate, but you know, a lot of the time they're okay, but occasionally they can be wrong, but we'll see. So we're going to jump into this video and see what we've got. So, House of Cadmus by Khemmis. Let's have a look. That was awesome. I mean, like I said, everybody knows by now that I am a big fan of doom metal, and that was just phenomenal. I mean, the vocal track wasn't at all what I expected. I wasn't expecting that style of singing. I was expecting, to be honest, something more sort of growled and aggressive, kind of like they did towards the end of the track. When I heard them come in with those clean vocals, I did wonder, were they going to mix it up a bit and maybe throw some growls in? I wasn't sure, and they didn't really use that much, but there was some. And you know, it sounded great. It kind of sounded like a mix between like Insomnium, Swallow the Sun, November's Doom sort of thing. You know, it was kind of like a mix of those, and it was just brilliant. It was just brilliant. Now, I couldn't really tell you exactly what the song was about. Like I said, the track is called The House of Cadmus. I did very briefly look up what Cadmus is, and the only thing I've come up with is Cadmus is from Greek mythology and was the legendary Phoenician founder of Boeotian Thebes? Pronounced that horribly. He was apparently the first Greek hero, and alongside Perseus and Bellerophon, the greatest hero and slayer of monsters before the day of Heracles. So, I'm guessing House of Cadmus is something to do with him, possibly. I could be way off base, but, you know, a quick look whilst I was watching the video, that's what I came up with, and that seems to be the most logical thing. Now let's talk about the video for a second. There was a spate of videos done in this style. It was very popular at one point. You know, you had Opeth, you had Cellar Darling, you had Paradise Lost, you had November's Doom, and many other bands did videos with that specific visual style, that specific art style. You know, that was very, very popular, like about a year or two ago. You know, there was a lot of videos done in that style, and I think it looks great. You know, I love the style of it. I love the artwork style, and I love the way it's sort of done like a collage and, you know, just pieces of paper slid across the screen sort of thing. I like the style of it. It looked wonderful. Now, like I said, I don't know if I can really break down much about what the meaning of the lyrics is, but we'll still go through them anyway. Bloodline fallacies wreathe the soul that I call who I am, sorry. Lead on while ravens watch, hungrily eyeing their prey, in a forest drenched in haze, endlessly barring my way. Threads become stained, weaving thoughts into blades that cry for release in the night, a protector's song, by the bard of barbs. Damning each breath that we take, the curse in my veins. Now, he says there, a protector's song by the bard of barbs. So that sounds like someone who, he seems to like say or write scathing songs or poems about people. You know, a bard of barbs. You know, he's quite sharp-tongued. You know, quite scathing. You know, damning each breath we take. You know, so this bard, you know, is singing about these people, but not in a favourable light by the sounds of things. This is a spectre that crawls through my dreams, blasphemy born in my marrow. A lineage broken and torn at the seams, now stripped down and chained, I burn the remains. Threads become stained, weaving thoughts into blades that cry for release in the night. They are a jailer's song of abuse in its arms, and fears that I am bound to this fate, the curse in my veins. So that seems to be sort of like a chorus, but it varies from, you know, the two versions of the chorus are quite different. And then he came with the death growl, I repent, sort of thing, which, you know, I wasn't expecting. I was hoping for, but I wasn't expecting it, and it sounded brilliant. And again, you know, it sounded very in keeping with like Swallow the Sun and Insomnium, you know, a lot of clean vocals with the sort of death growls in there. And the death growls carried on saying, I see the machinations of torment glowing beneath the moon. With mouths of broken glass they rend my flesh and herald my doom. And then went back to his sort of cleaner vocal, saying, cleave the body from my former, render the past incomplete. I would end this to disown it, leave it bleeding by the sea. So there you go. I can't really break down the meaning to the song because I don't know enough about the source material. If indeed Cadmus, you know, the Cadmus I spoke about earlier, the Greek hero, is what it is referring to. I don't know enough to be able to break it down if it's like a tale of this character. But I mean, even the album artwork, you know, sort of depicts a hero in armor and sort of spectral images around him of like skeletons and ghosts and stuff like that. So it could well be. But yeah, this was absolutely brilliant. I really like this. I'm gonna have to find more because, like I said, I've never heard of this band up until this point. So yeah, I really liked that. If anybody is familiar with this band and can suggest me any other tracks, please do, because I'm really curious to see what the rest of their material is like. Yeah. But I don't know what else I can say on that, so I'm going to leave that as it is. Thank you all very much for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.